Ian Valliere, 2022 Mr. Olympia versus Ian Valliere, 2023 Toronto Pro. Was he better? Was he worse? And was that back really improved? What's up, desktopers? Xavier Wills here for Desktop Bodybuilding, and we are back with another episode of Who Wins. And today I'm facing off the same man against the same man, but at a different time. So the 2022 Ian Valliere versus the 2023 Ian Valliere, Mr. Olympia 22, Toronto Pro 2023. And a lot of talk has been about Ian Valliere's back, but also his chest. We go through the photos side by side, and I give you my opinion on who was better. The 2022 Mr. Olympia version of Ian, where he finished 11th, or the 2023 Toronto Pro version of Ian, where he finished right up in that winner's circle in that first place and qualified for the 2023 Mr. Olympia. So let's get straight into this one. Now, the photos are courtesy as well of NPC News Online. I've been waiting for some good photos from the Toronto Pros to do this comparison, and we've got them. We don't have every shot though. Ian doesn't hit, I don't think he hits either of the front shots when he does his individual routine when he first comes out, which is strange, because all these guys, I believe, are meant to actually hit all of their mandatory poses. So that's interesting in itself, but we'll kick it off with the side tricep. Now, when I first put these side by side, I thought to myself, Ian isn't better. Ian's a lot flatter in his upper body, and he certainly is. He's definitely flatter in his upper body, in my opinion. But seeing some of that iPhone footage from the side and the photos, he looks a lot more impressive in Toronto. So it might have been a lighting thing as well as pure fullness. But let's start at the legs. So the legs, I would say, at the 2023 Toronto Pro are definitely better. They're really dry, they're cut out from the side, and I know the Mr. Olympia lighting gave this sort of watery look to a lot of guys, but I just think they are definitely more cut out. And Ian was posting those side leg photos just a day out from this contest as well. So I think he had confidence in that side leg, but it was looking crazy. The size, if anything, looks bigger. Yes, these photos could be from different angles, so I'd definitely give the side leg an advantage for the 2023 Toronto Pro. Now let's go to the upper body. Now Ian, in both contests, he doesn't really have a tricep that sort of pops right out. This is due to an arm wrestling injury, I believe, many years ago. I'd love to know what his side tricep looks like on the other side, to see if that tricep is different looking to this one or not. But regardless, it's actually a pretty good pose for Ian. It's the overall pose. It's not just about what the tricep looks like on this one. And the pose looks good because his waist is always tight. He brings his body around really nicely to, give that V taper, and it's a great way to do the pose. He hits it the sort of old school way with that leg trailing, and I really like the look of it. And regardless of if he's posing it better in the 2023 in terms of the legs, or if it's just that he's actually added more muscle there and he's drier on his legs, I'm not too sure. But I've got to be honest, and I'd say with the fullness in that upper body, I'd say the 2022 Mr. Olympia version of the side tricep, at least in this photo, looks better. Now we move on to the side chest. So this one for me, surprisingly, I expected Ian in 2023, with all the talk about his chest, with it being either flat or having some sort of damage there, or it being nerve damage or whatever it is, for the side chest to be much more impressive at the 2022 Mr. Olympia. However, the side leg, as it was in the side tricep, is definitely more impressive. Yes, the chest and the fullness across the shoulders at the 2022 Mr. Olympia was better, but I would say overall the 2023 Toronto Pro version of the side chest just looks better. Even though his chest maybe isn't quite as full, there's not like a huge clear difference between the 2022 and the 2023 chest, for me at least, in this pose. So with the extra conditioning, yes, there's a little bit less fullness in that upper body, but I would still give this one to the 2023 Toronto Pro version. So we're one pose to one right now. Now we move to the back, where most people are really interested to find out what Ian Valliere looks like, I guess. And it's a noticeable difference for me. The back just looks greatly improved. Now, I know he changed his training and posing and things like that, but even still, he's posing these back double biceps pretty similar. Maybe he's leaning a little bit further back with the upper body, or at least his upper back on the 2023 version. But is that enough to make this much difference? I don't think so. I think there's a noticeable difference. I think he's much better. Even the glutes are cut out better. The hamstrings are maybe even a tiny bit drier. Pretty comparable though. And just overall, definitely better at the 2023 Toronto Pro from the back, at least in the back double bicep. So we have 2 poses to 1 to the 2023 Toronto Pro version. Now, this is an interesting one because this looks actually noticeably different. His waist actually looks a little bit wider at the 2023 one, which I actually noticed and said that I thought his waist was more narrow, smaller looking. But I think there's just more meat on that back overall. Now, the lats are obviously retracted. This has been talked about. It was talked about post-Olympia last year. Sort of how Jay was when he made a comeback. In 2009, when you look at Jay's lats, there was a noticeable, I suppose, retraction of the lats, but he was so freaky and he still had so much muscle on his back that it didn't really matter overall. So you can see there's just more meat on that back overall. Not really judging that one, but just wanted to put it in there so you guys can see the difference. And then we go to the rear lat spread, and this pose is the most different out of all of them. Yes, he is posing it very differently, but there is definitely more muscle on that back. There is no doubt about it for me. The posing makes a huge difference, but also the amount of muscle on that back too. So shout out to Iain Valliere. Whatever he did between the 2022 Mr. Olympia and the 2023 Toronto Pro for his back, he made a difference, and he should be proud of that because not many guys can make that sort of difference, even if it is just posing, which we know it's not. You can see there's definite difference in terms of how much muscle he has on his back. Even if it was just posing, hats off to him because this is a noticeable big difference. So very, very impressive there for Iain Valliere. So easily give that one to the 2023 version of Iain Valliere. Then we head into the most muscular, and this one was interesting for me, and I find this one very tough to judge. So I'm really close to a 50-50 on this one. I think the chest is more noticeable here. Is it that big of a deal? Not really, but if it regressed from here, in those, I suppose, slight divots in the middle of the chest got worse, then I would be more concerned. But here, it's not too bad. But he does look a little bit more complete in the 2022 Mr. Olympia version. So this one for me is tough, and I know the lighting at both shows weren't optimal. More so the background, to be honest, at both shows, using those reds and bronze colors, and it was terrible lighting at both, to be honest, no offense, or terrible backdrops at least at both. And it's tough, but I would give this one, because I think conditioning is somewhat similar, although it is better at the 2023 Toronto Pro, I'd probably give it to the 2022 Mr. Olympia version, just because I think it looks fuller. I think if you saw this in person, across the chest, across the arms, across the shoulders, it would just look fuller overall and probably more impressive. So this is all the poses I've got. I don't have the ab pose. I don't have the front lat. I don't have a front double bicep because he doesn't hit him in his individual routine. And I don't really want to compare poses where they're from the side. I feel like it's a little bit pointless and we don't get a true idea of if Iain Valliere was better or not. So I've got 3 poses to 2, the 2023 Toronto Pro version of Iain Valliere winning, and I would say it was a better package overall, and he posed with more confidence too. Although you can't necessarily see it in still photos, there is so much difference when you watch a bodybuilder on stage with complete confidence coming out there, hitting his poses hard. It makes a real difference. So I feel like I can pretty confidently say that if the 2023 version of Iain Valliere at the Toronto Pro stood next to the 2022 Mr. Olympia version of Iain Valliere, that 2023 version would win. So Iain was improved at this show. Was this Iain's all-time best? I don't believe so. I believe one of those finishes at Mr. Olympia where he placed 7th, one of those years or one of those Olympias, that's when he's actually at his very best. But can Iain get back to that? Now, it won't be the exact same physique, but can he bring a new level of freakiness? Can he bring a little bit more muscle in those weaker areas? Absolutely. Is he going to bring his calves up at this point? No. Is he going to all of a sudden have a horseshoe tricep? No. But that's not Iain's game. Iain has structure, for sure, and people discount that a little bit. He's got, a small waist. He comes out at the shoulders. He's got nice round quads. So that works in his advantage. And if he can just continue to add muscle to that physique, improve his weaknesses, if he can bring that chest up a bit more, if he can, continue to improve his back, which I think is going to be a big factor for him, then he can definitely move up. Now, the quality of the Olympia is on another level right now. So can he place higher than 7th? I don't know. Am I going to predict him higher than 7th at this year's Mr. Olympia? No. But can he catch some guys that are napping? Yes. So Iain Valliere should not be discouraged by this win at the 2023 Toronto Pro, which sounds weird saying discouraged by a win, but I think it was a good win. Was it deserved? Was Hassan Mustafa better? We only can go by photos. And like I said, I had Hassan winning by photos and the live stream, but that's only that. And many people at the venue said, you know, they had Ian winning easily, or they definitely had Ian winning and things like that. So you got to take that on face value and believe their opinions. I look into who might be biased and who might not be and all that sort of stuff, but I've tried to take everything from it, and I think it was probably a close show. And if I was there, I'd probably say it would have been a close show. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Was Ian Valliere better at the 2022 Mr. Olympia or the 2023 Toronto Pro? Let me know in the comments. And guys, if you like this content, give the video a thumbs up, smash that like button, also subscribe and hit the notification bell button. That way you'll be notified of every video that goes up from myself, Xavier Wills, here at Desktop Bodybuilding. So that's it for me. My name's Xavier Wills. This is Desktop Bodybuilding, and we are out.